Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of our weekly QR code series. So we finished up last week's episode with a really fun, a bit crazy, wishy-washy team that was a lot of fun to use. We had a couple of really good games with that, but we're back today with this team you can see on your screens in front of you right now that was requested by one of the viewers, and I kept to my word, as I will always do, and anything that you guys suggest I will make sure I feature it on the channel. So just for future videos, the QR code series, if there are teams out there that you guys think, oh, that looks really interesting, or I wonder what this would be like in a team, let me know team concepts, Pokemon, etc. that you guys want to see on the QR code series, and I'll start making a list of Pokemon teams and things like that, and we can feature them in future episodes. So back to today's team though. So very kindly from a brilliant Japanese player who had a lot of success with this team earlier on in the season, kindly has put this team up on a QR code rental on the Pokemon Global Link website, and it is very interesting. So straight away we can see that the team is running 3 Tapus, so something not so common that we don't see that often. We've got the Tapu Koko, which is running the Life Orb, standard Tapu Koko set. We've got the leftovers, Tapu Fini with the Calm Mind, and then we've got a very interesting Choice Scarf Tapu Bulu as well. So that'll be a lot of fun to run, and something that I think isn't as obscure an item as it might seem on paper. It is something I've wanted to try out all season, so it's going to be really fun kind of getting hands on with it in this episode. Now the main reason really for the 3 Tapus in this team, and I'll just quickly kind of go over this for you guys before we jump into the games, is the Whimsicott. Now the Whimsicott has a move for you guys that don't know called Nature Power, and Nature Power is a normal type move. It doesn't act like a damage dealing move because it acts, so it gets the boost from the Prankster ability, so it gets that +1 priority, so it's normally always going first. And how it works is whatever terrain you use Nature Power under, it kind of reacts to that terrain. So for instance, if you've got electric terrain out with the Tapu Koko and you use Nature Power, it'll turn into Thunderbolt. If you've got the misty terrain out with the Tapu Fini, it'll turn into Moonblast. And Energy Ball if you've got the grassy terrain out with Tapu Bulu. And then you've also got the Normalium Z on the Whimsicott as well, so you can use the Nature Power Z move, and with the terrain combined with that, if the electric terrain's out and you use the Z move, it'll turn into Gigavolt Havoc. The Misty terrain will turn into Twinkle Tackle, and Bloom Doom under the grassy terrain with Tapu Bulu. So it's very versatile, and also with Whimsicott as well, you've got that nice utility to support move Encore as well to really kind of shut set of Pokemon down, like Snorlax Belly Drum. You can lock it into the Belly Drum and just make it useless for the rest of the game. You can lock things into Tailwind, Trick Room and stuff like that, so it's really disruptive as well as being quite a bit of a threat with that Z move and the terrains around it. To make up the rest of the team, we've got the Metagross, which kind of makes a lot of sense because the only Tapu that we haven't got included in this team is Tapu Lele, and Metagross really threatens Tapu Lele. It can take those stab Psychic type attacks, Fairy type attacks very well, and threaten back with Steel type attacks. With the Meteor Mash. The Bullet Punch not so much if the Psychic terrain's up, but we've got 3 other Tapus, so it's going to be easy to take and change the terrain in our favour with that. Obviously running Rock Polish, which is quite an interesting move, and no Protect on the Metagross, which is also quite interesting. So if you've got any openings where you can get a Rock Polish off, it's going to boost your speed by 2 stats and pretty much make you outspeed everything on the field. So making Metagross a big threat very quickly, and it's got the Groundrium Z with that Tectonic Rage with the Earthquake to threaten things like Arcanine, Muck, and Tapu Koko and other electric type Pokemon that are weak to ground type attacks. So, and then we round off the team with Arcanine, probably one of my favourite Arcanine variants of this format so far, which is the Choice Band variant, running Extreme Speed, Flare Blitz, Wild Charge and Close Combat. So all in all, going to be a very fun team to run, and I think there is a team report of this team out there somewhere, so if I can get my hands on it, I'll put that in the description below for you guys to go and check out, as well as the link to the QR code team if you guys want to go away after this episode and try it out for yourselves. But without further ado guys, we will jump on to the Battle Spot ladder and see if we can find ourselves a couple of opponents. So I've had a bit of a nightmare recording this episode. So my internet has been like completely wacky tonight. This is the 6th time I'm trying to record this episode, and you can tell from my rating from the School of Hard Knocks episode that we had just prior to this that it's taking a massive tanking. So I've got into like the first turn of like every game that I've gone into with this team up to now, and my internet has just kicked me off. So fingers crossed it doesn't kick us off this time. I've just been upstairs, reset my router, turned off my DS, turned everything back on, and it seems to be working alright now, touch wood. So hopefully we just get through a couple of games and provide some really good fun games for you guys in today's episode. What music should we go for? Let's go for League Tile Defense. It's always a good one, isn't it? So yeah, the other thing about this team that's really fun is the Triple Tapu. Now I remember I was at a Premier Challenge very early on in the season, and there was a guy there, and he was running Triple Tapu, and he was just causing havoc in all his matches the whole day. And I was really intrigued by it, and I was talking to him afterwards, and he was just kind of going through the premise of how he ran it and what he ran with it to support. And it was something from that point that I thought, I definitely want to try that. So it's really nice to see included in this team today, and we're going to be able to kind of have a go and see how good that is. Hopefully we find the right opponents and teams where we can maybe bring it. It's going to be a bit difficult because Tapu Bulu does find it difficult to operate very well in this format sometimes, but the Choice Scarf does make it a lot more threatening than it would be without it. So we can't find an opponent, so I'm going to have to search again, and I think I'm going to need to put the QR code in again, so this is going to be a bit annoying. So sorry about this, guys. You're going to have to listen to me yatter on a bit more. Hopefully I'll try and fly through this as quick as I can. Yeah. But I thought another idea I had for these QR code series. So we have the Sao Paulo, the Brazilian International Championships coming up this weekend. Now it might be too soon to have teams appearing next week. Come on, QR code, where are you? From the top players. But normally after these international championships, the top players, top finishers in these tournaments, they do tend to put the teams up online available for people to try out. So as I say, it might be a bit too soon. Next Wednesday, players are probably just getting back after the weekend and maybe still out there. So it'll probably be the week after that when we start seeing teams kind of popping up onto the channel for us to use. But I will keep an eye out for those, because if you guys want to see the teams that have done well in that tournament and they are available online, then we can feature those as well. I thought that might be quite a nice thing to do as well, especially on this series. But like I say, whatever you guys, if you've got requests, they'll kind of come first. So I just want to provide stuff that's going to be what you guys want to see, and I want to see an opponent. So come on, why is my internet? There we go. We got our first opponent of the day, Hunter Walls, 1717 rating, running a team of Alolan Persian, Tapu Koko, Tapu Fini, Arcanine, Kartana, and Snorlax. So very interesting team. It's quite a common kind of core with the Alolan Persian, the Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Snorlax. You normally see Mimikyu on this team, where the Tapu Koko is, but there's going to be a lot of switching board positions, cycling, intimidates, parting shots, volt switches, and so on and so on. So need to be very careful. Obviously, bringing the Whimsicott here, we need to watch out for that Kartana, because it puts on a lot of pressure straight away. And that Snorlax can become very threatening very quickly. But I do like Whimsicott in this match. So I'm going to lead off with my Whimsicott, and I'm going to lead off with Arcanine. What else do I want? I'm really tempted to bring Tapu Bulu here, because I think it can do a lot of work against... We just need to be very careful of the Kartana and the Arcanine, but other than that, Tapu Bulu does a pretty decent job. So I am going to bring it in the back. And what is my fourth choice going to be? Probably not Metagross. I think I might bring my own Tapu Koko here. Yeah, I'll lock him with Tapu Koko and go with that. And we'll see how we get on. Tapu Fini might have been a good idea to bring, because it puts a nice pressure onto the Arcanine, but in the same respect, Tapu Koko can do the same. Is Life Orb Tapu Koko as well, so as long as we've got the electric terrain out, it's going to be doing a lot of damage with those Thunderbolts. So fingers crossed. The main thing is my internet doesn't kick out right now. So this is the moment of truth. This is where we got to. The last like 6 times I've tried this, so hopefully it doesn't kick off again. So you see my opponent lead off with the Tapu Koko and the Arcanine. And we will see that our Arcanine is outspeeding my opponent's. So what are we going to see my opponent go for? I think here I'm just going to protect my Whimsicott. And what has my opponent got in the back? Could potentially bring in. He could bring in the Tapu Fini on the Tapu Koko slot to take a potential Flare Blitz. And that's probably quite likely. But I think what I'm going to do is just go for that Flare Blitz into that slot. Because if he doesn't, well, if he does, the next turn we can bring in our Tapu Koko and go for a Gigavolt Havoc into that slot. But we just see the Tapu Koko go for a Volt Switch into the Whimsicott. So we are going to get this Flare Blitz off. Probably isn't going to be enough to pick up the KO. But we get very lucky with a burn. So, doing some nice damage as well to the Tapu Koko. And we just see a Flare Blitz from that Arcanine. So my opponent doubling in to the Whimsicott there. Now, thing is, anything I switch in is going to take a Flare Blitz from this opposing Arcanine, and I don't really want it to. But I think, I've got a feeling that, a bit locked in, aren't we? Right, I've got to think quick about this, what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch in my Tapu Koko here, and I'm just going to go for another Flare Blitz into that slot with my Arcanine. The problem I've got is that this Tapu Koko is just going to go for a Volt Switch. I don't want to waste my Nature Power at the moment. It might have been an idea to go for it onto the Tapu Koko, but the thing is, if I do go for it, then I lose the Whimsicott to a Flare Blitz from the Arcanine, because it probably will be enough to take it out. And we haven't got the Focus Sash to kind of fall back on here. But we are going to see my opponent's Tapu Koko go for a Gigavolt Havoc of its own, and it's probably into the Arcanine slot here. Yeah. So this probably will take us down. Easy peasy. Right. Okay, and the Flare Blitz from the opposing Arcanine. But it's not doing that much damage, so that's quite nice. That burn coming in very handy against the opposing Tapu Koko here. Now, I think I might bring in my Tapu Bulu, because we do have access to Rock Slide. I'm pretty sure. But if my opponent's got that Cortana in the back, we really need to try and preserve our Tapu Koko, because it's really, at the moment, one of our only ways to kind of deal with that. So I'm going to go for a Rock Slide with my Tapu Bulu and just a Volt Switch with my Tapu Koko on that Arcanine. So we do get the Volt Switch off into the Arcanine. Do a decent amount of damage, and we'll bring in our Whimsicott here. We'll see what this Arcanine goes for, because it may just target down the Tapu Bulu here, but we should be able to take the Tapu Koko down with the Rock Slide, because we should be going before it. Yeah. Oh no! So the Arcanine avoids the Rock Slide, which is not ideal, but we do take down the Tapu Koko, so I guess that's something. So Arcanine is going to get a Flare Blitz off again. It's going to be into the Whimsicott. It does huge damage and gets the burn. Okay. So not ideal. But we do heal a little bit of health back with the grassy terrain that's out at the moment. But this game is becoming very, very... It's kind of slipping away from us very quickly. Right, so here... One option I've got here is to go for the Z nature power and switch in Tapu Koko and try and nuke that Kartana with a Gigavolt Havoc. And it might be enough to get rid of it. So I think I am going to do that. We've just got to kind of hope that that Kartana isn't focus sashed or assault vested, because it may be able to survive. See if we can kind of get through this turn. So the Arcanine withdraws here, and in comes the Tapu Fini. Oh no! Oh, this is the worst. So, as they move, it's going to turn into a Twinkle Tackle, which is not going to do anything to this Kartana, which is not ideal at all. Okay. And I imagine the Kartana's probably targeted down the Tapu Koko slot, where the Tapu Bulu was, to get rid of that threat. Because the Whimsicott is burnt, so it is going to eventually go down. Oh my god, that does a ridiculous amount of damage. How did that KO? Okay. Wipe what I just said. That's insane. Okay, I did not expect that to KO. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So we managed to get rid of the Kartana, and Arcanine comes back in on my opponent's end of the field. So all we need to do now is get rid of the Arcanine, and we're looking pretty good. So I think here what I'll do is I'm going to protect my Whimsicott, just in case this Arcanine goes for a protect, because we should be able to take this Arcanine down with a Thunderbolt here from the Tapu Koko. And if we can, if the Arcanine protects, then at least the next turn we'll be able to encore it into the protect, yeah. So, we shouldn't go down to the burn with our Whimsicott this next turn, so we should be able to lock it into protect. And Tapu Koko, we get really fortunate. Tapu Koko avoids the muddy water there from the Tapu Fini. Now, what I'm going to do is lock this Arcanine in to protect. And I'm just going to start Thunderbolting this Tapu Fini, just getting some damage onto it. I still can't believe that Twinkle Tackle killed the Kartana. That's insane. I guess it is stabbed, but yeah, I just didn't expect it to at all. Kartana's not the bulkiest of Pokemon, but yeah. So Arcanine going for the protect. It does fail, but we do lock it into the protect with an encore from the Whimsicott. We get a T-Bolt off onto the Tapu Fini, doing really good damage. And just proccing that, what looks like a Super Berry, which is the Wiki, is it? Yeah, Wiki Berry. And we see a Moonblast come out from the Tapu Fini into the Tapu Koko. Smart play from my opponent, because he knows that the Whimsicott is going to go down to the burn damage this turn. So we're left with just our Tapu Bulu. So we will bring in the Tapu Bulu. And we'll get the grassy terrain up. Now, I'm just going to go for a Wood Hammer into the Arcanine slot, because the Tapu Fini is likely just to protect here. Arcanine goes for the protect. Tapu Fini goes for the protect, yeah. It's not over really. I think we need to, for Woodhammer. Yeah, if I get rid of the Arcanine first, and then we can concentrate on the Tapu Fini after that. Arcanine goes for the protect. It does fail, thankfully. Woodhammer. Don't know if this will KO. But it does, yeah, so that's nice. So we get rid of the Arcanine, and now we can just concentrate on that Tapu Fini. And one Woodhammer will be enough to take it out, so that's great. We should be able to survive this Moonblast. Yeah, just about. Get a bit of health back with the grassy terrain, and now we can just lock this game up. So, very surprised that we got the result we did. But getting rid of that Cortana made our lives a lot easier and totally flipped the game on its head. So a little bit exciting for the first game here. And the other thing is, the internet hasn't dropped out, so hopefully I haven't jinxed it there. And we should be able to pick up the KO onto this Tapu Fini now with the Woodhammer. And good games to my opponent. So, Tapu Bulu pulling through there with that Scarf, doing some work. Oh, and surviving on 1 HP. So, doing it in style. We like that. So yeah, very good first game there. And we'll go straight into our next game. So good game to my opponent there. And a little bit of an exciting twist on that one. So, not too bad to start the episode off with. So hopefully we can just find our next opponent super quickly. And things kind of continue along the same path. Right, let's go. Should we just stick with the same music as last time? I think we will. Just League Title Defense. We'll stick with that and await our next opponent. So, just another news, guys. So next week, I am going to have a team review episode of the Tapu Lele Drifblim team. We'll come back to that later on because we have our next opponent, and they are running a team of Celesteela, Gastrodon, Muck, Arcanine, Tapu Koko, and Garchomp. So, straight away the Muck kind of jumps out of me and screams, "Do not bring Tapu Bulu! Do not bring Tapu Bulu!" Because Tapu Bulu is very threatened here. You've got the Celesteela threatening it, Arcanine threatening it, the Muck threatening it. It does a very good job against the Gastrodon, the Garchomp, and the Tapu Koko though. That's the only thing. And it's very tempting to bring. Let's think. Tapu Fini. I don't really want to bring the Tapu Fini here. Tapu Bulu's not bad, but I think I'm going to have to bring Metagross to this match. We definitely need Arcanine as well. So I may lead Arcanine. Yeah, do I want the Whimsicott and then the Tapu Bulu or the Tapu Koko? The Tapu Koko is probably better, and then we don't need the Whimsicott and just go Tapu Bulu. So I'm just going to lock it with those four. Let's see how we get on with that. It's nice having the option of Arcanine and Tapu Koko on the team to deal with that Celesteela, but we do really need to be very careful of that Garchomp. Because it is going to be able to throw out some big earthquakes and tectonic rages that will threaten pretty much 3 of my 4 Pokemon on the team. So we need to play around it very carefully. We obviously have the Tapu Bulu that can come in with the grassy terrain to kind of reduce the damage output of those attacks, but in the same respect is going to be threatening very heavily. So here, my initial thoughts are that the Arcanine's threatening my opponent's Celesteela very heavily. So the Garchomp is going to go for the Tectonic Rage into my Arcanine. But that's the obvious thing. So if from my opponent's point of view, you might think, well, he'd probably protect that, so then does he target down the Metagross or give the Metagross a free turn here? That is a good question. We could pull a double switch. I'll just go for a Meteor Mash and get some damage off into that Garchomp. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go for a Meteor Mash with the Metagross, and I'm just going to switch in my Tapu Bulu on my Arcanine slot, because if a Tectonic Rage comes into that slot, at least Tapu Bulu will be able to take it a lot better than anything else I've got on the team. And if the Garchomp just goes straight for an Earthquake, then at least we'll have the grassy terrain up to kind of protect the Metagross slightly better against that. And then the next turn, Tapu Bulu puts a lot of pressure onto the Garchomp, forcing that kind of switch or movement there. And then we can kind of hopefully bring the Arcanine back in and start threatening that Celesteela. So the Garchomp just goes for an Earthquake. Everything takes it quite nicely because of the grassy terrain. We do get the Meteor Mash off onto the Garchomp and do not bad damage actually. And we see a Flamethrower from the Celesteela into my Metagross. So now we do have the opportunity here to switch in my Arcanine for for the Metagross, get another Intimidate onto that Celesteela, and I'm just going to go for a Wood Hammer onto the Garchomp. Hopefully, because if we Intimidate the Celesteela twice, we should be able to take the Heavy Slam, but it's going to be very, very close if we can. Depends how the Celesteela's built as well. And we might see the Garchomp just go for a Protect this turn. So we'll save the Metagross for later, in case that Muck or anything else is kind of floating about my opponent's team. Get another Intimidate off onto both Pokemon, but no Protect, so we do get the Wood Hammer off onto the Garchomp. This should take it out, so we get rid of that threat. We'll see what the Celesteela goes for. He's going to go for a Heavy Slam. Yeah. And it is into the Tapu Bulu. Can we survive? Yeah, Bulu. Hero Bulu. Bulu's doing some work this game. Bulu's great. It's such a cool Pokemon. But it isn't like I've tried it. I keep thinking, fooling myself that it's great in this format, and then I try it and it doesn't go well. But so far it's gone very well. So now we have a nice option here. The thing is, we really do threaten the Celesteela very heavily. But we could go for a Wild Charge. Kind of lock ourselves into Wild Charge onto the opposing Arcanine. That'll do a lot of damage, bringing our Tapu Koko on our Tapu Bulu slot. To get the boost with the Wild Charge, and then at least the next turn we're threatening the Celesteela with our Tapu Koko if it's still on the field, or the Arcanine with the Wild Charge as well. So we'll withdraw the Bulu, bring in the Tapu Koko, get that electric terrain up. I'd imagine the Celesteela on my opponent's side to protect this turn, but no Protect coming out. So we just see a Flare Blitz from my opponent's Arcanine into the Tapu Koko. Do take that. And we go for a Wild Charge ourselves into the Arcanine and do decent enough damage actually, but we might just see a Wild Charge proc the berry on the Arcanine. Is it the Citrus Berry? I think it is, yes. We just see a Leech Seed. Alright, that's fine. Okay. I'm tempted to switch out Arcanine here. Yeah, into Metagross. Go for a Volt Switch with my Tapu Koko into the Arcanine and bring my Arcanine back in on the Tapu Koko slot, because I think this turn is where the Celesteela is going to protect. It has to protect because it's so threatened from the Tapu Koko in this situation. Arcanine goes for the protect. Wow, okay. Yeah, so this is actually a really good read from my opponent here. We see a heavy slam, and this is going to be into the Tapu Koko. Yeah. But isn't quite enough to pick up the KO there. Right, okay. So I'm going to bring in my Arcanine again. We're going to get another chance. I think this time I need to go for... I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt into the opposing Arcanine slot rather than attack. That Celesteela has to protect. My opponent's really like calling my bluff like every time. He's playing this so well. And I'm just not attacking into the Celesteela. But we'll see. That Arcanine should be in range for a T-Ball, a Life Orb T-Ball, and Electric Terrain to take it out. So we do see it withdraw though. And the Muck come in. So we'll be able to do some good damage onto the Muck. Let's see if this Celesteela protects this turn. I bet it doesn't. So we'll get an Intimidate off onto the Celesteela and the Muck. And no protect from that Celesteela again. Oh, it's our own fault. We should be attacking into it. So we do lose Tapu Koko. Proc the berry on the Muck. And we'll see a Flamethrower from this Celesteela. Might not even have Protect. Like literally it might not have Protect. It might be Assault Vest. What have we seen from it? Just Heavy Slam and Flamethrower and Leech Seed. Well, Leech Seed, yeah, so it can't be Assault Vest. But yeah, so it's just my opponent calling my bluffs super well. Here what I'm going to do, just going to go for a Flare Blitz into the Celesteela, and I'm going to go for a Tectonic Rage into that Muck slot, because if the Arcanine comes in we'll be able to pick the KO there, and even on -1, but we don't even see a Protect. Okay, so we're just going to get the Flare Blitz off into the Celesteela. This should pick up the KO because we are Choice Band, yeah, and we should be outspeeding this Muck with our Metagross. So we will be able to pick up the KO onto this with a Tectonic Rage. This should be enough to pick up the KO. So, finally, getting the KO on that Celesteela that just wouldn't protect in front of us. In front of a Tapu Koko and a Banded Arcanine. Balls of steel my opponent having there. So we get the Tectonic Rage off onto the Alolan Muck. As I say, this should be enough to pick up the KO. Easy. So yeah, and we're left with my opponent's Arcanine. So we should be able to kind of close the game out from here. Should be able to. Because we've still got the Tapu Bulu in the back. And I kind of want to, in style, bring Tapu Bulu in to kind of close the game off. But we'll see if Arcanine and Metagross can do it between themselves first. Just waiting on my opponent to bring in that Arcanine. We'll get the Intimidate off onto my Arcanine, but because of the Clear Body ability on my Metagross, it isn't affected by stat drops, so we don't get the attack drop. So what are we going to do here? Just go for a Flare Blitz and I think just a Bullet Punch just to get some damage off onto it, to be honest. I don't really want an Earthquake. Yeah, I think that's the best option, just to get some chip damage off onto it. We should be outspeeding with our Arcanine. So we get the Bullet Punch. It's going to do tiny bit of damage to the Arcanine, but that might matter in the end. See a Flare Blitz from the Arcanine actually onto my Metagross, so it is outspeeding our Arcanine, which is interesting. We're going to get a Flare Blitz back, and we'll see how much damage this is. It might even pick up the KO here. No, just missing out. And we'll bring in Tapu Bulu to close up the game like the boss he is. So Tapu Bulu comes in, he will summon that grassy terrain to the field, and we will be able to take down this Arcanine. So we'll just go for a Flare Blitz again with our Arcanine, and we'll go for a big Wood Hammer and end this game in style. Hopefully we don't see an Extreme Speed come out. And my opponent just forfeits. So Tapu Bulu coming in very, very good again there. So just showing it isn't just lost its way, this format. It just hasn't found its right team yet. But this team has been awesome, guys. I really hope, and I'm pleased we got through it without any disconnects finally. So that's the main thing. And we provided some really exciting games there. We had the first game with that crazy Twinkle Tackle. I thought it was all over. I literally thought it was all over when the Tapu Fini switched in. And then we were going to get the Twinkle Tackle onto that Cortana. But to my surprise, and hopefully your surprise as well, we picked up the KO there and kind of closed out the game there again with the Tapu Bulu coming in right at the end and cleaning up there. And then this game kind of maneuvering around that Celesteela that just wouldn't protect in front of the Tapu Koko with the electric terrain up. And maybe it didn't have protect, I don't know. But my opponent playing it very well and kind of calling the shots every turn there. We managed to actually get ourselves into position to pick up the KO and finally get rid of it. And then Tapu Bulu coming in again and just with style closing out the game. So I think Tapu Bulu has definitely been the star of the show and probably definitely the thumbnail for this episode. Oh, we'll definitely feature that. But a big shout out actually to the Japanese player that has created this team and put this online. So it's really appreciated and it's been a pleasure to feature it on the channel. If I can find a Twitter link, I will put it in the description below, and guys, do follow this guy because he obviously knows what he's doing and he's made an absolutely fantastic team here. So it's been an absolute pleasure playing it. And the main thing is, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. I really do enjoy doing these QR series, and they're a lot of fun and just a little deviation from the School of Hard Knocks. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, guys, as always, please leave a like on the video. It's massively appreciated. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, do subscribe. You'll get all the daily updates for when the School of Hard Knocks episodes come out. The QR code series, these ones, when they're uploaded, they're normally on a Wednesday, and then when the team review episodes come out as well. So we will have a team review episode hopefully over this weekend, it may be into the start of next week though, but we will be back next week. So guys, like I've said throughout this episode, and I've said on many other QR code series before, if you've got teams, Pokemon or whatever that you want to see featured on the channel, leave them in the comment section below and I will start compiling a list and we will start working through that and show you guys what you want to see. But we will leave it there, guys. It's been a pleasure as always. You are all amazing, and yeah, the support's always great. You guys are just like the best group of viewers ever. So thanks for all the interaction that I always get from you guys. It's always nice to hear from you, and you kind of keep pushing me on to keep creating this content. So it really does make me feel like it's all worthwhile, and I do enjoy it. So it's really it's nice to do. But just a big thank you, and it wouldn't really be doing anything without you guys. So that's the main thing. But I'm not going to drag this on any longer, guys. I'm going to let you go away and enjoy the rest of the evening. So you go and do that. Whatever you're doing, make sure you have a good time. Take care of yourselves, and we'll be back tomorrow with an episode of the School of Hard Knocks. So until then, guys, take care of yourselves, like I say always, and until then, bye bye.